Hello and welcome. This is Mouse Gunner, and I'm going to be taking a look at a brand new game, the Warlock of Firetop Mountain. Now, this is part of a fighting fantasy series, which was a series of kind of choose your own adventure style books that also incorporated some tabletop role-playing elements. And this is a supposedly faithful recreation of that original book series. Now, this is one story out of that series, and maybe there will be future games that have other books from that series, but for now, we'll be playing the Warlock of Firetop Mountain. Now, what I've heard about this game is that it's rather difficult, so I expect to die quite often. Let's go ahead and jump right into things, and this will be my first playthrough, so I have no idea what to expect. Alright, greetings player. Welcome to the world of Titan, and in particular the most notorious of all lands, Alexandra. There's going to be probably quite a lot of reading here. I'm Arena, the Keeper of Souls, your guide and your game master of sorts. Many adventurers have entered Firetop Mountain over the last 30 or so years. Voracious readers have wandered the many pages, battling the monsters within and negotiating the many traps, only then to take on the might of Zagor the Warlock. With skill, stamina, and luck, they have chosen their many paths and rolled their fate. Many of these brave young adventurers have perished in the darkness, and their souls even now lie unclaimed. You appear to be the next brave soul to take on the mountain and all it contains. To do this, you will need to choose I'm going to have to get used to this word, an Alangian hero to take into the mountain. I'll get a hang of that eventually. Alancian, there we go. Alright, don't get too comfortable with your choices, however, as the ways are treacherous and it's doubtful that you will survive. Only by bringing me the souls of the fallen, may you be blessed with new heroes over time, each with their own quest within Zagor's domain. Okay, so now we have to select our hero, and this is another element of the game that I kind of saw, is you get to pick multiple different heroes, and the heroes are going to react to the story a little bit differently. Alright, so we have 4 to choose from now, but I believe we'll get more later. Alright, so we have Unika Ikandi, Dekion Strom, Alexandra of Blacksand, and Aran Godspeed. Alright, well, typical fantasy names that are all weird. The only one that's decent is Alexandra of Blacksand, and it's such a normal name that I'm going to be taking that over the weird names that all these other guys have. But let's just see, what happens. If we click on one of these, are we going to get an idea of the character itself? Yeah, there we go. So we've got stamina, skill, luck. And we have a backstory here. The warrior known as Alexandra of Blacksand is famed for her many adventures. Her name is known in many parts of Alancia. No matter where she is, Alexandra has a knack for sniffing out trouble and gold. An experienced adventurer with deft sword arms, she can sense dangerous situations before they happen, and has built up a good reputation for completing quests quickly and diplomatically, reducing the need for unnecessary conflict. Attributes: has an above average level of education, and lucky, fortune favors you often. Okay, and then her attacks. She has an affront attack, a single strike directly in front, right attack, a single strike to the right, piercing strike, strikes up to 2 enemies directly in front, and quick jab, and it looks like that is a couple of spaces ahead. Alexandra strikes with near lightning speed. This attack will hit before the target can move. Oh, okay, very interesting. Let's just take a quick look at some of the other heroes and just see how they differ. So, Aran over here. I'm not going to read all the text here because I don't think I'm going to go with them, but illiterate, reading is not your strong suit. Alright, so pretty much the opposite of Alexandra. Fearsome, a terrifying appearance can strike fear into others. So the fact that he's illiterate might have a play into the story. For instance, maybe if we discovered some text, he couldn't read it. So that would be to his detriment, obviously. And it looks like attacks very similar. The first 2 attacks, so those probably are basic. And then the next 2 attacks are probably more special attacks. So we have Blade Swarm, which attacks all around him. And then Charging Twin Strike charges forward and strikes foes on either side of him. So here and here. Alright, so that's interesting. And then we have this guy here, who has great speed, agility, and precision. Notices things that would normally be unseen or ignored. And his attacks, again, the 2 basic attacks. And then he attacks these 2 squares, and he can also do a ranged attack. So, obviously, from what I've seen, everyone has 4 attacks. Everyone has the same first 2 basic attacks, and then they have 2 special attacks that follow. Okay, and this last character, notice things that normally would be unseen or ignored, so the same as the last character we just saw before this one, and has great speed, agility, and precision, and then attacks. Oh, so his second attack is slightly different. He has a poison strike, so he only has 3 attacks. So this character here, actually that's a woman, so she has only 3 attacks, so very different from most of the other characters. But I think I kind of already made up my mind. I kind of like the backstory of Alexandra, and she has the most normal name, so we'll be selecting her. Alright, you have chosen Alexandra of Blacksand, a wise choice for your first game, player. It sounded like she was maybe more of a beginner character anyway. Before entering the mountain, I want you to visit the one-armed sword master of Anvil, Linwei Tsai. He will teach you the basics of combat, which you need to know if your hero is to survive Zagor's domain. Alright, this is probably going to form our tutorial bit, so we'll go ahead and do that. During your adventures, you will encounter many different foes, magical and monstrous, brigand and beast. There will be an assortment of creatures lurking within Firetop Mountain, eager to bring your adventure to a premature end. But let us learn to walk before we start running, shall we? Linwei Tsai wants you to fight some quintains, which will allow you to experience how combat functions. I love fantasy, and I'm going to have a great time pronouncing all the make-believe words that they throw at me. Alright, so we'll fight these guys. Oh, this is probably not a make-believe word, but who knows. Alright, during combat, you can choose to move or attack by selecting a space. Alright, I'm assuming he wants me to go ahead and do that. Select move to advance towards the quintain. Okay. Ah, okay, so there we go. So we click on a space and then we tell it what we want to do. Oh, and then it looks like it's... Alright, after you select your action, both you and your opponent will play out their moves simultaneously. So, okay. Kind of saw that. Move to the side to avoid the quintain's attack. Okay, so it wants me to sidestep to the right. We'll move. Alright, sometimes it's better to attack where the enemy is likely to move to instead of where they currently are. Alright, attack the space in front of the quintain. Alright, so there's a little bit of guesswork involved, I guess. If both you and your foe try to attack each other at the same time, you will clash. It is then a test of who has the greatest skill, with the loser taking damage. Attack the quintain and clash. Okay. An attack. Ah, so it's a die roll. Alright, your enemies will move and attack in somewhat predictable patterns. Pay attention to when they shake to indicate that they will be attacking next round. Okay, so I have to pay close attention to using movement attacks to defeat the quintain. Alright, so I have to pay close attention to what this guy's doing. Now, it looks like he's going to move over here, so I'm going to attack. Alright, now it looks like he's going to move over here. Ah, okay. So is he going to move or attack? Now, it said look for a shake if he's going to attack. I didn't see a shake, so I'm going to assume he's moving. I think I saw it the previous time where he did attack. Alright, victory. You were triumphant. So it's going to take a little bit of getting used to the combat system, but I like it. It did look like there was a little bit of die rolling mechanic with the clash, but it also looked like maybe your skill went into that, so there's modifiers to the die rolls. I didn't really get a chance to see the outcome of the die roll exactly, but it was clear that I think I won that one clash. We'll have to see in the future if we can figure that stuff out as we go. Let's go ahead and continue. Alright, so it looks like we're having to fight again. Okay. So this guy here is going to attack. So in addition to the basic attacks, you have special attacks that you can unleash. These powerful attacks can take several turns to recharge, so use them sparingly. Okay. Defeat the pair of Quintains. So he's shook, so that means he's more than likely going to attack me. So I could sidestep over here. Okay, so that one's going to attack. I could clash with him. Or I could move. Now this one's probably going to move. So I kind of like the idea of moving here. There we go. So that one's going to move that way, and that one's going to move down. So I'm assuming attacking here would be a good call. And we'll try our special ability, Piercing Strike. Oh, okay. My bad. He's going to move now. I guess I missed the shake. Kind of hard to keep an eye on both characters. So Piercing Strike is now not available, so we'll just do a normal attack. Okay, that time I gauged it a little bit better. Now, I think he shook. It's kind of hard to tell because he might have shook from the attack. But I think this guy shook as well. So I think sidestep, move. Yeah, okay, that was the right call. Now, I think he's going to move because he didn't shake. So we'll just do a normal attack here. Alright, cool stuff. Now, he shook, which means he's going to attack. Now, I could do a quick jab, but I can't remember exactly how that works. Was it something to do... Oh, that's right. It was attack before he moves. Well, let's try it. Yeah, okay, so it hits that square regardless. Alright, so that worked. Now he's going to move, so I'm just going to go ahead and do Piercing Strike into the space. There we go. Alright, so we won. Now, I didn't really pay attention to my special abilities, I think, as much as I should have to know exactly where they land. And exactly what they do, but I think it's something we maybe will be able to figure out. Hopefully, we'll be able to look at that stuff in more detail, but we managed it. Alright. Let us learn to walk before we start running, shall we? Okay, we already did that. So, you have defeated the Quintains. Perfect. You lost no stamina and you gained 3 souls. Alright, I'm not exactly sure what the souls are for yet, but we'll find out. Alright, congratulations, you have passed the basic combat training. Just one more thing, player. While on your quest, keep an eye out for wooden benches just like this one. Which one? Ah, okay. Rest ye here, weary traveler. Using them will allow you to restore your stamina. If you run out of stamina, your adventure ends, so be sure to take a rest now and then. You also have some provisions which you can use at any time, but they tend to work best when you are resting at a bench, so keep that in mind. Okay, so benches are very important. You receive 3 resurrection stones at the start of your quest. If your adventurer dies heroically, you can use 1 stone to bring them back to life. Be warned, though, that your hero will only appear at the last bench that you passed. You will also lose any souls that you absorb between the seat and the location of their death. Okay, so it's kind of like a save point as well. Alright, this is where I leave you, player. It is time for you to begin your journey. Alright, we'll travel the mountain. Oh, I love that. So I'm very impressed so far with the aesthetic. Alright. The villagers of Anvil cheered with excitement as you began your 2-day hike to Firetop Mountain. Cries of return to us safely, Alexandra, and may the luck of the gods be with you, rang out. Your fame reaches even to remote towns like Anvil. Okay. Your mysterious patron, a sorcerer known to you only as Kith, wants you to seek a massive ruby known as the Eye of the Cyclops and give it to Zagor, the Warlock, who rules this mountain. When you asked Kith about the significance of the ruby, the sorcerer only smiled and said, "You'll see." Alright, so here's all of our stats. Luck, stamina, skill. Looks like these things can go down, so we'll have to be careful. The citizens who live in the foothills of the mountain fear Zagor, and have been very reluctant to tell you anything that may help you find him, fearing for their own safety. You have mixed feelings about the adventure ahead, and you just hope that Kith's instructions are honorable and you do not let the local people down. One thing is clear, though, you will not be dealing with any ordinary wielder of magic. You must be on your guard. It takes you 2 days to reach the menacing-looking mountain with its sharp rocky crags that jut out at unnatural angles. At the top, you can see the eerie red coloring, probably some savage vegetation which has given the mountain its name. You approach a cave, a known entrance used by a local band of orcs. your hand gripping the hilt of your longsword as you consider what dangers may lie ahead. Your adventure starts here. Okay. There's the entrance. Peer into the gloom. Alright, here we are. You see dark, slimy walls with pools of water on the stone floor in front of you. The air is cold and dank. Hearing faint scurrying to the east, you light your lantern. With the smell of orc up my nose, I have a feeling I'm going to meet some formidable foes. That ruby is in this mountain somewhere, so I'm going to have to ask politely, using my sword, of course. Step warily into the blackness. Alright, you stand in a dark... Okay, so it looks like to progress, we click on this bit here, approach the fork ahead. Oh, I love that. Alright, after a few yards, you arrive at a junction. So it looks like there's an orc over here, so we can turn west and face the orc, or we can turn east and see what's down here. Well, I figure turn east. Alright, the sounds of scurrying continues ahead of you, as well as the sound of heavy footsteps. Okay. Whatever is marching along the corridor can only be trouble. A few yards ahead, at the limit of the light cast by your lantern, you catch the sight of a cleft in the tunnel wall. We can duck inside the cleft to hide or prefer to face... We'll hide. Because this... Alright, so this lady here is more about avoiding conflict when she can, so I'm going to try and roleplay her to the best of my ability. Shuttering your lantern, you wait with bated breath in the darkness. Without knowing how many creatures there are, I should stay out of sight. You listen intently as the footsteps come closer and then pass by your hiding place, without the owners of those footsteps ever knowing you are there. Alright. Stay hidden from the danger a little longer. As you wait in the darkness, listening to the receding footsteps, another sound comes to your ears, the cracking of rock. Uh-oh. You unshow your lantern just as one of the granite walls of the narrow cleft fractures and large grub-like heads with powerful mandibles break through the rock. They are rock grubs, and the monstrous insects are between you and the exit. Oh, okay, so maybe I should have left the cleft. Alright, so here's our first real fight. Let's watch these grubs closely to see what they're going to do. Okay, so it's going to attack in that direction, so I figure we can get away with an attack here. Okay, now they're going to move. I want to finish off this one, so it's a little easier for me to handle. So I'm going to go ahead and using Pierce Strike. There we go. Alright, so we know it's going to attack. I'm going to sidestep. Oh, it had a special ability where it could attack me first. Oh, that was a mistake. So it's going to move here. We'll attack. Alright, so it wobbled under my attack, but I don't know what it's going to do here. I'm assuming it's going to move here. So I'll attack. Alright, my mistake. Now it's going to move there. I'll do Piercing Strike. There we go. So we lost the stamina. That's unfortunate. You are triumphant. Alright, you've defeated the rock grubs. Wiping your blade clean of the rock grub's sticky, dark blood, you decide to leave your hiding place before its mate or something even worse turns up. Okay. Head east down the passageway, or head westward instead? We'll head east. Alright, the passageway soon comes to an end at a solid-looking wooden door. Trying to open it, the door refuses to budge. You listen at the door, but you hear nothing. With a bit of force, I should be able to get through this door. Try to charge the door, attempt to kick the door down instead, turn back and return to the first junction. Oof. I'll try and kick down the door. Give the door a mighty kick and it swings open easily. You are about to enter when you notice that the room is actually a pit. Had you charged the door, you'd be nursing a sore rump by now. Examining the pit, you notice that the sides are full of handholds, so it should not be difficult to climb back out. Okay, we'll go ahead and climb into the pit. Alright, so by kicking the door, I saved myself some damage probably there. Looking around, you can see two cave entrances leading off from the pit opposite you. Moldering bones litter the floor, small piles of them stuck together in pools of fetid slime. You think back to your education on dwarven architecture. Ooh, good. Judging by the way this door led straight into a pit, the dwarves must have used this area for the disposal of refuse. Okay, so we've got a cave over here that looks like it's got chains, or a cave over here, which I can't make out what that is, but it looks like maybe some hands of some creature. We'll go over here to the left. Alright, you enter a small cave with slime dripping from its rough rock walls. A sickly sweet smell assaults your senses as you enter. It is the smell of rotting meat, the remains of rats, and even a half-eaten goblin line the corner. And another is a large joint of meat. It looks like whatever is using this place as a larder is saving this a choice haunch of giant aardwolf for later. I can't imagine that goblin tasted very nice. Oof. This might be dangerous. Take the giant aardwolf meat, but it might be useful for later. I'm going to take it. Alright. Although you don't fancy eating it yourself, it might prove to be of use to you somehow elsewhere. You pick it up and put it in your pack. You leave the cave and enter the central pit. Alright, investigate the other cave. Might as well. First thing that hits you as you approach the cave is the stench. An unpleasant melange of mushrooms and rotting meat. Whatever was nearby, you sense that it has not strayed far from its home. I've smelled better latrines than Port Blacksand. Alright, we'll survey the Murky Cave. The stench from the cave is familiar. It reminds you of an adventure when you were just as a young woman serving in the Queen's Guard, camping in Trolltooth Pass? No, further south than that, was it? What was it? Two hideous slime zombies have emerged from the goo. A slime beast, meanwhile, launches itself at you with its powerful hind legs. Fight the monsters. Alright, so we've got a couple of zombies and a slime beast. Alright. Alright, I think the slime beast was going to move. This thing is going to attack. So I'm going to attack here. Oh, my mistake. Alright, so this thing is going to move, and as is this. Do we focus on the zombie, or do we focus on the slime beast? I think the zombie, and hopefully we can overcome. Okay, so both of these guys are going to attack. To be on the safe side, I don't know how his attacks go, and he might be able to hit me here. Alternatively, I could just finish off the zombie, which I'm fairly certain shook, so he's going to stay where he is. Alright, you know what? I'll go for the finish off. Oh, okay. I did end up getting hit. So that guy's going to move that way. So I can't hit him, can I? No. So I'm going to have to move, I think. Okay. So this guy's going to move, and that guy was, I think, going to attack. We'll go ahead and do a quick jab. Oh. Ouchie. I think he's going to move here. So I'm going to hit him with a piercing strike. Okay, I think it shook. I'm not sure. Should I sidestep this time? Because it seemed like they could attack me diagonally, and they might attack me diagonally again. So I'm going to sidestep. Oh, okay, he's going to move, so we'll attack. Looks like he's going to attack, because I think he shook. There we go. I am poisoned, so I don't know. I did take some damage there. I'm actually half health. So you defeated the monsters. The creature's dead. You wipe the disgusting ichor that passes for their blood from your weapon and investigate. Apart from the sticky pools of acidic slime and various mounds of other, altogether more unpleasant material, there is nothing of interest here. Oh, that sucks. So that fight was completely pointless, unfortunately. Alright, so I have no choice but to move on. The way along the passageway, you come to what is clearly a sentry post. Ah, he's asleep. You approach with caution and can see an orc in leather armor asleep at his post. I hope all of Zagor's minions are this lazy. This could be my quickest adventure yet. Alright, we'll carefully approach. As he is asleep, it should be no trouble for you to wake wake him so you can get some information. I don't really want to fight at this point, so I'm just going to try to tiptoe past. You know what? Wake him and interrogate him. Why not? You prod the orc awake with the pommel of your sword. He leaps to his feet, flailing for his weapon, which you swiftly kick out of his reach. I'm Alexandra of Blacksand. I seek the eye of the Cyclops. The orc seems to recognize you, or at least he recognizes your short sword and heavy armor. He does not speak the trade tongue, but his shrugging and sniveling make it clear that you are not going to get any useful information out of him. You tie him up and gag him. Alright, continue along the passage. That doesn't look good. The passageway begins to widen until you enter a cave. However, blocking the cave's exit are two of the ugliest creatures you have ever seen. They have the proportions of dogs, but their hide is rough and scaly. Each beast is chained to the cave wall, secured to their thick brass collars. The two orc hounds begin to snarl and strain at their chains. They cannot reach you, but their chains are long enough that should you approach, you will not be able to escape their slavering jaws. I've come across these poor creatures before on previous quests. Orcs generally don't treat them very well, which can make them quite vicious. You're going to have to deal with them quickly, one way or another, before they attract attention from orc patrol, or maybe something even worse. Alright, so we'll distract them with the food that we collected earlier. Orc hounds wait expectantly. Remembering your education on the beasts of Titan, you think back to the notes on orc hounds. Although vicious, they are easily distracted as long as you have the right treat. Giant aardwolf meat, which we have. Alright. Throw them a joint of meat, which I'm pretty sure we have. Oh, you know, I didn't never really bother to check this stuff. See if it lets us do that. So we've got inventory, sword, dagger, provisions. What do provisions do? Oh, okay, it didn't really tell us. Lantern, backpack, rope, giant aardwolf meat. Okay. Bio, we already did. Okay, so all this stuff. But this does give me a reminder of what my attacks do. So piercing strikes up to 2 enemies directly in front of Alexandra. Okay, so I'll have to remind myself of that. And then we've got quick jab. Alexandra strikes with near lightning speed. Okay. We have to keep that in mind. What is this? Okay. And that's probably settings. Okay. Throw them a joint of meat. Take the giant aardwolf joint from your backpack. You toss it towards the orc hounds. The hungry animals pounce on it immediately. They wrestle over the meat for a moment until they manage to tear it in half with their powerful jaws. Taking their prize away to opposite sides of the caves, they leave the way through clear. Not hesitating for a second, you take the opportunity to sneak past the orc hounds as they noisily devour the rancid meat. So unfortunately, the fights that I've had so far were avoidable if I had known what to do to avoid them. Alright, leaving the cave as quickly as you can, you follow the new passage way as it turns north. I do see that there is a resting point, so I'll probably use that. Yep. Against the wall is a wooden bench where you may rest. Alright, player, I would strongly advise sitting on the bench. If you do not, Alexandra Blacksand will not be able to resurrect at this location if they perish. Alright. Rest and consume some provisions. I'm not exactly sure what the provisions does. It didn't really tell me. But I'll go ahead and do that just to see. You sit down on the bench and take out a portion of provisions from your pack. Your moment of rest combined with your healthy provisions make you feel much better. Alright, so we get health back. Perfect. And honestly, you know what? I think I'm going to go ahead and put a cut in this point of the video. So I hope you guys have enjoyed. This is Mouse Gunner, signing out.